Good morning, everyone. All right, I've got time. Let's see. Okay, cool. So I'm going to talk a bit about some of the work that I've done, and then a project that has interested me in the last couple of months. Let's see. So before I came to Google, I ran a gaming company. This is pixelated because I had to grab it off the internet because the game company does not exist anymore. But I feel like this was where I met a lot of the folks in the room actually, and it was a really beautiful creation of community. And that's Beta saying to all the people, "Hey, let's go this way." With my buddy, we actually created maybe I don't know if it's the only, but two of us, we wrote basically a programming language for the game, and may have actually been one of the first fully Black owned and operated programming languages, top to bottom. We wrote the compiler and the syntax and everything. So I feel pretty good about that. All right, then I came to Google, and I started to think about well, I was in virtual space, but there were things that were limiting in virtual space that I wanted to bring into physical space. So I came here to build a program called Code Next. This is Oakland, California, where we run a lab. Basically, it's I looked at the media lab, I looked at some of the labs here at Google, and I was like, man, we need to create accessibility for communities of color to come and be able to just be creative, have community, and have family. And so this is the space in Oakland, and we provide all the resources we possibly can to those the kids to come and imagine the things, right? So if Ashley or any of the artists that we've seen today, they want to come by and just hang out, and we would work with you to build sort of an experience so that the kids can experience you as mentor, as guide, but also get their hands dirty. We also have one in New York, which is up the block. So this one just opened up. Oh yeah, shout out. So this one just opened up. I'm pretty proud of it. It's 8,000 square feet. And it's a little bit bigger, and so we've been really growing this community. And so this is a shameless plug. If you are interested in just having a space to come and connect with community in tech and building, this is readily available to you. Just let me know. I spent the last few years doing family engagement and just really trying to build pathways. And just go on trips with the youth, which is really beautiful. But not just technical, but also just community building and critical thinking and all the great emotions that should happen in a community happen together. This is us at the end of the first part of the graduating first class. And Idris, I don't know if he's probably in here, but he presented, and he's a part of this group. And this is my family. Then I'm currently at the Creative Lab, so that work continues on, and I've moved on to another space to go back to my own creative sort of roots, and have really been wrestling with this idea of this mission. I'm in a space where it's a combination of artists, technologists, creatives, producers, and we basically just do a bunch of random weird stuff. We take Google research, and it's our job to bring it to real people. And who gets to kind of bring it to real people? I feel really empowered to be able to think about, well, who are the communities that we want to bring it to, and what does it mean when we bring this stuff to them? We spend our time making stuff, mostly faking it to make it. A couple of projects, things from using machine learning to figure out where whales are in the bottom of the ocean, to weird AR experiences. Notable women using AR to place the face of the top 100 women nominated to be on the $20 bill, the Tubmans that we still haven't gotten. You can actually use this to see it live. Helping people who need to be able to communicate, and using Morse code to create tools for accessibility. Using the moon to reflect the mirrors off the moon to create portraits the size of Central Park to honor people. You should check this one, it's really cool, just dropped not that long ago. And then body movement language, which is being displayed here. I'm gonna skip over that one. So this is why I'm here. Talk. Let's see. 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Here we go. So I'm in this lab, and I get this. I see this happen, and I'm like, okay, cool. This is pretty fire. Google's building an AI research facility in Ghana. So I packed up my lovely wife and son and was like, yo, we're going to Ghana. Let's do this. Let's see what's happening out there. And I get out, and I start to meet with some of the folks on the ground to figure out what's going on here. And for me, the question was well, why Ghana? And so I met with this gentleman. His name is Dr. Barnabas Nomo, who's a good friend of mine now. And I sat him down for coffee, and I was like, yo, so what's really happening here? And he's like, well, you know, we're doing research. I was like, no, but like, what's actually happening here? So he takes me to a room that has one of these. If anybody can identify what this is a quantum computer. And so I'm looking at a quantum computer, and I'm like, bro, but like, what is this thing? This thing looks crazy. And he kind of like sits me down, and he's like, well, we think that this is the first place where a transmission has happened. And I'm like, well, what do you mean a transmission? And he says, it's built here because this is where we believe that time travel has occurred first. And so now I'm like, yeah, but like, all right, show me the thing. And he's like, well, it just so happens that matter is not the first thing that moves through time. It's going to be information. So he shows me this, which I'm like, all right, this is what, Windows 98? Like the shit when like, you know, your doc wouldn't like, and I'm really confused by this. And essentially he takes me through some explanations of string theory, which I have no fucking idea what this guy was talking about. I was like, word, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then ultimately he hands me a piece of paper that has some text on it, which he believes is essentially a message that was sent approximately 90-something years in the future back. And this is what it said. Harlem is no longer a place, but a culture. The third Renaissance is here. The rise and the fall of the second are the myth and lore of the children. Space-time is ephemeral. Braided minds are an entangled reality. Thoughts are boxed, road weaved for fiber optic transmission. In the streets, opposite strings swing, electric double helix lines open portals, beautiful black girls sing, tatted teardrops of joy, marking generations of freedom passed down. The cloud transcends the rain, timing my reentry. We learned money was an illusion. Apparently, so is freedom. That does not make them not real. As the classical philosopher Calvin Brodus Jr., aka Snoop Dogg, once said, time is money and money is time. In our day, time is mind and mind is time. What is artificial intelligence without natural intelligence? While they obsessed with moonshots, we looked inward, a core shot, tunneling deeper and deeper into the entanglements of a collective self, a molten center, the organic internet. It still remains that the brain is the most powerful computer in the universe. Or better put, computers are just lesser brains. We never needed to go faster. Slow down, my love, slow down, until you can question whether it's not even moving. Then stop thinking and enter the door. So I leave you with that transmission. I don't know what it means, but hopefully it'll help spark the second Harlem Renaissance. Thank you.
My brain hurts because I'm just so, I don't even know what to say. I don't.